The fine fellows I'm interviewing today are members of one of the most innovative and close-knit teams here at Big Fish Studios. In fact, this team doesn't just develop games, they develop critically acclaimed games and have earned award nominations from the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences for their games Drawn the Painted Tower, Drawn Trail of Shadows, and Fetch. This team has gone on to make a brand new game, Panda Pandemonium, which launched in August on iPhone and iPad and is coming soon to Android devices. Joining me today from the Panda Pandemonium team here at Big Fish Studios are Hamza and Sean. Hey guys.
Hey.
Thanks for joining me. How long have you guys been with Big Fish?
I've been with Big Fish for about 6 years now. They picked me up as an intern right out of school, and I've been here ever since.
Wow. What about you, Hamza?
I remember the first time Sean was in, and it was pretty interesting to see Sean. But I've been with the company for 7 years, and we brought Sean in to do the, was it the second? No, the first.
The first drawn game came in to do
First
scripting,
drawn
and now
game.
I'm a full engineer programmer.
So Hamza, you were already on the team, and then Sean joins fresh out of college.
Yeah, because when I was within the team, we were trying to develop the style and the concept and the story, everything. I mean, we didn't need programmers at the time until we figured all that stuff out, and then when that was set in stone, then we were like, okay, we're gonna need people now.
So speaking of needing people, what do each of you do on the team here for the games that you guys develop?
So I'm a programmer or developer. So a lot of what I do is I take the awesome art that Hamza makes and make it move around on the screen. And in the case of Panda Pandemonium, I actually make the tiles interact with each other. I make the dragon eat the tiles and make the pandas get scared. While Hamza actually does leads all the cool art to make all that happen.
Do you provide the pandas with those cute darn faces? Is that you?
It's not me, but it's a member of my team.
Okay.
And he's pretty awesome. I mean, he animates all the cuteness that happens, and it's because of those animations. I think it's because it's.
So you guys have obviously very different roles. You
Yeah.
are a programmer,
That's
developer,
correct.
if you will, and you are an artist. So is it just the two of you? How many people are on this team who make all these great games?
There has to be at least like 8 or 9 people on our team now.
Yeah.
It's huge at this point.
The art team always changes, but I mean, the core art team is about 4 people,
Okay.
and I'm one of 4.
Okay.
So, and then we have animators and illustrators, and we have our art director as well, who kind of leads the vision and style of the game.
So you're one of 4. What about you? How many other
Us.
programmers are
So
there?
there's 2 other programmers on the team. There's Peter, who's the leader of our little group, and there's Ben, who's also part of our group, but still a very important member of our group.
And then I believe there's a designer, am I correct?
There is a designer, Chris Campbell.
Okay.
Worked with him for many years.
So does he dictate to you guys what the game will be, how it will be designed, what it'll look like, or do you guys, what is your process for coming up with all of these awesome games?
Well, I mean, for a lot of the games, we usually end up just talking about them at length. There's a lot of ideas that come out, like maybe we should have a giant serpent that's rainbow colored. That would be cool. And then before you know it, crazy things like that end up in our games.
I'm usually the one that says, that's weird, and that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And then
So
this
you're the
guy,
naysayer.
I'm usually the naysayer, but then whenever I see it in the game, I'm like, oh my god, that actually worked, and it's pretty cool.
Have you ever had a feature or a mini game or something that you were just like adamantly opposed to having in the game? Ever? Like, have you ever fought against something pretty strongly?
Yeah, that's actually definitely happened. For me, actually, for Panda, when we first started working on the game, Peter had asked me, it's like, well, what part of the game do you want to work on? I'm like, I do not want to touch the gameplay at all. I don't want to do that. And I'm pretty much doing a lot of the core gameplay for the game, and I absolutely love it at this point.
All right, Hamza, I got a question for you. So you're the lead artist for Panda Pandemonium, and you know, artists have a specific aesthetic, or usually a style, that's how people recognize their work. But I gotta tell you, all of your games, from the Drawn series, to Fetch, to Panda Pandemonium, all of the games you've worked on look very different. How do you differentiate your art style so much?
So that's a pretty good question, by the way, because as we approach a game, we always look for inspiration that kind of gives us a style to work from. And in the Drawn series, we looked at a lot of like golden books, for instance. I remember we were just going through golden books just to see.
Are you the golden books, like the childhood books?
The child golden books. I mean, you wouldn't imagine, but golden books, and we looked at a lot of French art because of the way they stylize their art that we've never seen before, and we like that kind of stuff. So in the Drawn series, we looked at a lot of that kind of thing, and when we came into Fetch, we brought in, I mean, we were just looking at a lot of, what's that retro space?
Almost some sort of like pop science fiction type thing.
Yeah.
Like kids in comic books in the 80s. It was actually more like the 70s and 60s. It was really fun.
What was the inspiration for Panda Pandemonium then?
We used a lot of cute things that we found, all over the place. I mean, pandas are cute generally, but how do you make it cuter?
That's a really good question, actually.
Little things like the fluff on the hair and big eyes that just shines, and the tooth that you see in the panda is just one tooth, but it makes it that much cuter. And we did a lot of research on it, and we had so many different panda styles. This is the one that kind of resonated with us.
So basically, you assaulted the player with just cuteness.
That was the start of how this whole thing happened. Okay. And I mean, the direction we started with was very like kung fu, and a lot of this guy's gonna fight this guy with a sword and nunchucks and all that, and then all of a sudden
it just became really, really cute.
It evolved to cute, and cute was the way to go.
What specifically do you do so our viewers have more of an understanding?
All right, so an example of the pandas dancing around and being cute. I make sure that they actually do dance around, and when they make the cool animations, I make sure that they're playing. In our actual game, when it's running, I try to make sure that when they match tiles, things work right. So when you match swords, they actually kill dragons. I make sure that happens. Sometimes it doesn't work, and I have to go in and fix that.
I see. So you're a problem solver and you make things happen.
Correct.
So Hamza here, and I'm sure the other artists have their aesthetic and different things that they can do to apply to the game to really leave themselves in the game. How do you leave yourself in the game? How would somebody play, Drawn, Fetch, or even Panda Pandemonium and say, this is a Sean Richer game?
Oh man, there's a couple things. In the Drawn games, I've tried to be whimsical and absurd. So a good example of that is in the first Drawn game, there was this crazy number puzzle that I remember some people that worked here were not a fan of. In the third Drawn game, Peter actually found out when they were porting it to the iPad that I physically put myself into the game.
You're in the game?
I am in the game.
Like you as a person?
Yes. There is a secret code you can put in as your username. I believe it's Drawn Guy. And if you do that, whenever you collect one of the missing pigs, I come in and uppercut the screen.
It's not even subtle.
It's very over the top.
Yeah.
So you literally just charge right into that game. I love it.
Yeah, people, I don't know if anyone actually did find it, but Peter definitely found it when they were trying to make the game run on the iPad.
Okay. Well, this will be a big challenge for all of our users. Type in Drawn Guy to see if you can find Sean Richer in that game. Drawn Trail of Shadows, I believe it was in. So you guys are the developers of critically acclaimed games. I mean, it is absolutely no joke for someone to be nominated for an award from the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences, which is essentially the Oscars for the video games industry. Why do you think those two Drawn games and Fetch were so well received by the critics?
Drawn's kind of a two-part thing, because on one hand, it's a beautiful game to look at, and there aren't too many games that are like 2D illustrated like that are just gorgeous. And it's also a throwback to old adventure games that a lot of people grew up playing and still do play, so it was kind of neat to have that.
What about Fetch? Why do you think that was so, appreciated by the critics?
It's a really pretty game. And the story was awesome. I mean, I did not see that one coming at the end. That twist, wow.
The gameplay was also a mix of a lot of things. It was a lot of the adventure stuff that we're already used to. And
arcades.
You could kind of see it, at the end of Drawn 3, we wanted to put more arcadey like puzzles in. So Fetch was a nice blending of arcade and adventure. Thank you.
It is a bit of a head scratcher for me. The Drawn series and Fetch are adventure games. You guys are known for your adventure games, and then you bring out a Mahjong game. Why did you make the leap from adventure, where you're already critically acclaimed, to something like Mahjong?
First of all, no one would expect us to take on something like Mahjong. So it gave us an opportunity to take something completely different, a puzzle game on mobile, and try to make it our own, which was a really fun. Awesome. It was a really fun just puzzle to work at, because how do you make something that's Mahjong that already works? How do you make it work differently, and when you do that, hopefully better?
That was the question we asked ourselves, and then when we paper prototyped this, it seemed a lot funner than we actually thought. And once Sean put it up in the computer and started scripting it, it was like, I can see this happening. Like, this is going to be awesome.
If your customers, your fans, the people who love your games, are watching this video right now, or more importantly, if they were in the room at this very moment, what would you look them in the eye and say to them?
I want to say just enjoy every moment of Panda Pandemonium, and life actually, because any moment that you're not enjoying yourself, it's kind of wasted.
I would also say thank you, and please save every single one of our pandas.
You got it from them. This team never ceases to amaze me when it comes to the thought and quality of their games. They're great, and if you don't believe me, find out for yourselves. All of the games mentioned today are available in the Apple App Store, and the Drawn series is also available for PC and Mac on the Big Fish Games website. We want to thank you for taking the time to meet these great developers.